Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to each of you joining us for this very first WordPress Cafe session. Today we are going to dive right into our main topic by exploring a specific plugin that I previously developed alongside my dedicated team of developers. We are quite excited to share these insights with you today. It's a plugin, an AI-powered chatbot. It's a RAG. We'll explain all of that in just a moment. We have a total of 20 minutes together for this presentation. So, in order to make the most of every moment we have, I'm going to get right down to the main point. I'm going to share my screen with you. And so, let's get started right away. SmartSearchWP is the name of this powerful plugin. It is a specialized plugin that will really assist you on your website to much better convert your visitors into loyal customers and to provide comprehensive support for your entire website. Currently, it's powered by ChatGPT. In future versions, it will be able to run on other AIs like Mistral, for example, or Cloud. That will come later on. So the single most significant challenge when you're operating a website and you find that you need a lot of direct interaction with clients is that you're often managing and providing comprehensive customer support services. And that's something that can be exceptionally costly and resource intensive for any business to maintain. You have to be available all the time, 24/7, and you have to respond quickly. There are times when you have spikes in support activity. There is often support that is repetitive, so it's often the same questions that keep coming up. And when you have to assign someone to handle this maintenance, to provide this support, it gets quite expensive. The second major challenge we face is that when people are unable to find the specific information they need on the website, they will generally begin to look for those details elsewhere on other platforms. And so you might lose sales, or the person will try to contact you through another channel, either via an online form, a phone number, etc. And so this overloads the after-sales service, for example. When you implement an intelligent chatbot, you'll be able to reduce support tickets and decrease phone calls. And you'll also be able to increase sales since you'll be able to make direct offers to users, either the right answer or the right product that these people are looking for. So we avoid drop-offs and bounces. We spare the user from having to browse through all the pages of the website to find information and possibly, unfortunately, not finding the right information. And we also avoid losing customers along the way. Today, with intelligent chatbots like SmartSearchWP, we can transform all the content on the website into a resource that will be available to the chatbot. When I say all the content, I mean the content that you choose. And the AI will use that content and only that content to be able to respond to users. So in fact, we will increase the power of the AI thanks to your content. So you have 100% control over the content that will be shared, and the user, by asking their questions, will be able to get very precise, highly targeted and relevant answers to their specific request. The RAG model basically is about feeding the AI with knowledge it doesn't necessarily have, and therefore feeding the AI with your content. It could be website content, it could be PDFs, it could be products. So we'll be able to provide it with quite a bit of context. Today we use ChatGPT. And ChatGPT, what he will do is take your content, transform it, and vectorize it to provide a semantic context. And depending on these contexts, he will be able to provide answers. These responses are anonymized, of course, but they are available. And so you'll be able to see them on the website. You'll be able to check them on the plugin. What are the discussions? Is there enough content? Is the content relevant to address the client's issues? So this gives you quite a few sources of information to know exactly what your clients are looking for on your website. And it also gives you the opportunity to supplement your content if the content isn't 100% relevant. So you'll be able to add the information that clients are looking for. Now, it's very, very easy to install and configure. In less than 5 minutes, you can have it up and running. The first thing to do will be to install the plugin, of course, and also to get yourself an API key from OpenAI. In the plugin, you'll see, we'll show you in just a moment. In the plugin, it's very, very easy to use. There's a link, you go to the OpenAI platform, you create an account, you generate an API key, and that's the key you'll use. In the plugin, next what you'll need to do is create the embeddings, so creating the vectors for your content, and then activating this content so that it becomes available on, at least for the intelligent chatbot. This will allow you to reduce support costs. It will allow you to, at the first level, let's say for support, to have an AI that can answer a lot of questions. From the clients who are already using it, some have told me that it has indeed significantly reduced the support we used to have to provide, whether through forms or by phone. And the advantage as well is that all clients, all users receive the same information. It also helps increase the conversion rate, meaning that we can offer the right products to the right people. Often, when you have to search on websites and browse product pages, it takes time. Here, AI will allow you to offer the right products directly, no matter the language. So that means the AI will respond in the user's language. As for the search, how does it work? It's a chat that enables a conversation. We're not going to do a keyword search. We're really going to have a conversation with the AI. The AI will truly understand the need, grasp the intention, and respond in real time, a bit like ChatGPT and the conversations you can have on ChatGPT. We're going to have the same thing with the chatbot. What's also great is that the chatbot will remember the answers it has given previously as the conversation goes on, and it will be able to continue the discussion. So you don't have to start over from scratch each time. And when you change pages on the website, your conversation will always be available in the chatbot. Another advantage of the chatbot is that it can provide links and show which pages it is referring to. So it will display its sources. You have the option to talk to the AI, and you also have the option to listen to what the AI replies. That's also quite useful for people who might be visually impaired. So it also provides support for this person. As I mentioned, it is multilingual. We have a history of the conversations, so you'll be able to see the discussions in real time. And of course, it's anonymized, and all the necessary security measures are in place to prevent any security breaches. There are also add-ons that come with this plugin. There are additional features that we can add to the plugin, such as the WooCommerce add-on, customization options that will allow you to personalize the chatbot. Usage control means, for example, whether it's available on mobile or on PC, depending on user roles, etc. You can go quite far in restricting the use of the chatbot. We'll be able to integrate PDFs. The only limitation is that the PDF must have selectable text, meaning it needs to have a text layer on top, because the AI needs to be able to read the PDF. We also have the option to add this chatbot and integrate it directly into a page, and I'll show you that later. We also have the option to add custom types, so we're not limited to just WordPress pages and posts, but can also feed the AI with other types of content like FAQs, etc., which would have very specific post types. And last, but certainly not least, we also have the additional flexibility and the specific option to override the prompt, to make it a fully customized and unique prompt tailored to your needs. So we can modify the prompt, and we can also include in the prompt, if necessary, the date and time, for example. And that's interesting when you're selling services that have very specific dates, etc., to make sure the AI suggests the right services at the right time. So we'll see later on, there's the WooCommerce data that will allow you to integrate your products. There's customization, which will allow you to personalize the visual appearance of the chatbot. There's usage control, as I mentioned, which will let you limit and restrict access to the chatbot, depending on roles, etc. So we'll really be able to control all of that at this level. PDF integration, so we'll be able to add PDFs. We'll be able to feed the AI with a whole range of information that doesn't necessarily have to appear on the website, but you'll be able to put this information into PDFs and make it available to the AI. The full page option is interesting when you have content and you want on the same page and in a complete page to have a kind of chatbot. For the custom type, we're going to integrate the ACF fields. We'll be able to add portfolios, events, job offers, etc. And the prompt override will allow you to override, to change the initial prompt and adapt it. So really to whatever you want. So what I would like to suggest right now is that maybe we should try to do a live test. I am just going to go ahead and get everything ready for us, my page. I'll do that. And then I'll go get the chatbot here. So as you can see, the chatbot actually looks like this. Here I had already asked it a question. So what is the purpose of the plugin? And it already answered me about what this plugin is for. Here I asked it in French, and of course it replied in French. Here it's a completely standard chatbot, so you ask your question here, send it. You have the option to enlarge the window if you want, and you can also clear the entire conversation to start a new one from scratch. So what does it look like? I'm going to go into the general settings first. And in the general settings, there are quite a few features that are already available. So here you can see the entire section. Freemium, meaning everything that's free. And the add-ons, those will be paid add-ons. So you have the option to enable or disable the chatbot using this button. This is where you enter the OpenAI key and validate it. You can choose the model, give the chatbot a name, and add a logo, so you'll also be able to put your own logo on the chatbot. Here you'll be able to configure a whole range of settings that will allow the AI to be more or less creative. And so all the explanations are provided here, but by default, everything is set to the middle. Here you have the option to modify the technical settings of the AI. You can enable or disable the famous speech bubble that appears at the top when you land on the page. You'll be able to edit the text in the speech bubbles. And here these are more informational or technical features, like being able to activate a debug mode. And then here to clear the cache, in case sometimes you might have minor update issues because we cache certain information. So this allows you to empty the cache to make certain updates easier. Here in the report tab, you have the option to enter your email address and regularly each week, for example. Here, in this case, I receive at 6 p.m. the various contents, the different discussions that took place on the site. And I receive them by email, and I get the discussions in PDF format, which I can easily review and look at like this. I can look at the discussions that took place, and then possibly during the day, add more information to the site. If ever there is missing information, or if the AI got stuck because there wasn't enough information on the site, as I told you, we will respond in any case. It's not me. It's the AI that will reply to users using the content from your site. So here we can see all the pages that are used to generate responses. So it's very simple. Here we can see that everything is green, which means the line is active and that I have created the embeddings, so the vectors, in order to allow the AI to respond. But it's very simple. When you have a page, you click on Train the AI, and then you activate it. And you'll see that in less than 5 seconds, it's something that can be activated. Here, I have a lot of pages because I not only have the site content, but I also have, thanks to the custom type, the FAQ content that appears here. And you can see that it's organized by language. So one important thing, the AI, no matter the language, will be able to respond. So if you have created embeddings, meaning vectors in French, it will be fully capable of using the French vectors to respond in Korean, Chinese, English, Irish, whatever the language. So it's not necessary to create vectors, meaning context for the AI in every language. If you do it in just one language, that's fine. As long as it's the same content in all languages. If you have a page where the content isn't the same in French and in English, well, then in that case, you'll need to create vectors in both French and English. You have the conversation logs, so you'll be able to see which conversations have been generated on the site. I'm logged in as an admin, so sometimes it's a bit slower. There are quite a few discussions here that have been generated. There are some in Italian, some in German, some in English, etc. And here on the right, you have all the contexts that are used to respond. So you can see how the AI managed to answer the question. And if you want, you can see the entire discussion here in French, in English, etc. So we have quite a lot of information if you want to go a bit more into detail to see, for example, how well the AI answered the questions. We have an error log. This is where you can possibly see if, for example, you are over your quota. So you have ChatGPT that will tell you, for example, you don't have enough tokens left to answer the questions. This is where, for example, you'll get that information. And when you switch to debug mode, this is also where you'll find a whole series of information. So most of the work happens here in the context because this is where you'll be working. This is where you'll see which content you want to make available to the AI and which content possibly is not up to date with the rest of the content. So if you update a page, you'll see the page highlighted in yellow, indicating the vectors have been created, but they're no longer up to date because the page has been updated. So you'll need to retrain the AI to update the vectors. Okay, now that was for the freemium part, freemium. Now for the premium part, we can go to the add-on section and see which add-ons are available here. It's very simple to install. Once you have your license key, which you enter here in this tab, you have the option to install the add-ons you want. When you install the add-ons, you'll find them here just below, and you click on them, and you'll go directly to the information. As I mentioned, usage and control allow you to restrict access to the chatbot for users based on roles if you want to make the chatbot available only on certain pages or depending on certain types of posts or certain devices, smartphone, not smartphone, etc. You can go quite far in restricting access to the chatbot. For the prompt override, meaning prompt replacement, here you have the default prompt. And if you want to override this prompt, you click here and enter your own prompt. Be careful though, because the prompt you set here will be used and you might get some odd responses. And here you have the option to enable or disable adding the date and time. This helps add context and allows the AI not to suggest, for example, trips or these are activities that would normally be online but are already considered outdated. For custom post types, by default, you have both posts and pages available. You can see it here, that's the default. You have posts and pages. But if you have other plugins with very specific post types, for example, like I do, I use everything related to Better Docs. To have the FAQ, we have them here. You just need to activate them and then you automatically have access to docs in the context. So to the doc post type, which will allow you to add all the FAQ pages, for example. And we have access to ACF, so this also allows you to fetch content from the custom fields. This helps to enrich the context. So by enabling custom post types here, it will allow you to have enriched context. If I go back to the context, you'll see that I don't just have pages, I don't just have posts, but I also have ACF here. In my case, I don't have them, I haven't used them here. They're enabled, but I haven't used them here. But above all, I have the docs and the docs. And that comes from Better Docs, so from the Better Doc plugin. And so this allows me to fetch all the FAQ pages from here to include them in the context. In terms of customization, you'll be able to change the color, you'll be able to change the fonts, and you can also change the location where the chatbot will be positioned. So the colors, the typography, the size, you'll be able to change the dimensions. And as for the position, you can easily change that too, where the chatbot appears. As for PDFs, it's very simple as well. You just need to add PDFs to the media library. They will be displayed right here in this section. And you also have the available opportunity to generate the vectors and activate them once again, which will further expand the volume of your existing content. Not just with simple web pages or standard articles, but also with much more. And also along with, regarding the PDF content, the only thing you really need to do is make sure that the PDF content, well, is exactly how you want it. Has this text layer, which will allow the AI to have more than enough access to the PDF to enhance its content. Now, regarding the WooCommerce data, we're going to increase the context. We're going to enhance the AI's ability to respond to users thanks to the products that are available on your site. So we have the list of products here. In my case, I'm on the Smart Search site, so I only have one. And so we can see it here. So I generated the vectors and activated it, so it's green. In this case, I only have one. I could have used another site with quite a few products, but this is what allows me to activate it. And so this means that the AI will now be able to fetch content from the product and reference this content for its answers. So here we have the option to choose which content we want, which product content we want to include in the answers. And we can even go further. We can do search and dicing, which means we can highlight or push certain information a bit more. Product information. Certain product information highlight categories or, for example, highlight products that are on promotion. And also to take stock into account, maybe highlight something we want to sell quickly. For stock that is lower than 5, we want to clear out those items. Products we have too many of and highlight those as well. And here with the switch, we have the option to tell the AI, listen, in your answers, only use responses that are related to products. So in fact, we're going to make sure that the AI is really focused on the products. Here, if I go back to the products, I can see a bit the information that will be available to it. So if I show the details here, there you go. So it has information about the name. It will be able to reference the link, the short description, the long description, and then a whole series of other information here, which are also available to it. So it will be able to use all this information in its context to answer questions. Last add-on, the full page. This is an add-on that will allow you to integrate so that the chatbot is no longer just in a small widget at the bottom right, but really to be able to integrate the chatbot into a specific page. So we have a shortcode. We just put the shortcode on the page and we get something that looks like this. So we have content here. This is a fictitious page. We have fictitious content, but we have the possibility to really integrate the chatbot. So we can remove it from here and then we can integrate it here, right in the page, and have a conversation within the page as if we had ChatGPT right in the page, just next to your content. The big advantage is that here, it's not really ChatGPT that we're using directly, but it's ChatGPT that will only respond with the content, only with the content from your site. So there you have it. We have now thoroughly gone over the plugin and everything it offers. It's a popular plugin that's used in Brazil, that's widely used in Portugal, and that's also frequently used across Australia. I also have Koreans who use it. Today, there are well over 100 different clients using it. In various countries all across the globe, the feedback we have received has been consistently and incredibly positive. If you really want to try it out now, or if you want to see how it works, I'll come back here. If you want to try it, if you want to avoid taking any risk, so you can absolutely use the freemium version. The only thing that will cost you in that case is the key. The API key from OpenAI, which you will need to create and for which you will have to pay for the tokens on OpenAI's side, but you already have a free version where you can test it out. Now, if you want to access the add-on, that will be the paid version, and so it's €49.90 per year. It's ideal for showcase websites. It allows you to answer questions very, very quickly. For users, it's ideal for e-commerce sites. It allows you to highlight the product catalog in the responses. Anything related to documentation and online help, if you have support with PDFs, you'll be able to upload all the PDFs online and generate responses based on those PDFs. It is also ideal for company intranets or various training purposes. You can effectively utilize the power of AI on your intranet to answer employee questions. A whole range of questions, HR questions, process questions, training questions, and of course 24/7 customer support. So that means you don't have to be behind your site all the time. You can respond to people in Australia who are awake when you've already gone to bed. So as I was saying, the freemium version is free. In that case, you don't have access to the add-on, but it already allows you to do quite a lot of things. And then the premium version at $49.90 per year is something that, when compared to the overall cost and the significant benefits that you will definitely get from it, is really quite attractive. And when you purchase this license, you get access to all the... So if you want to try Smart Search, you can install it on your WordPress. It's available on the WordPress marketplace. You can install it very, very easily. And if you want to access the add-on, you just need to go to the website, www.smartsearchwp.com. And there you simply add the license to your cart and make the payment. And automatically you receive your license key by email and you can start having fun right away. All right, now we're going to move right along to our interactive Q&A session. This is the specific point where the main video presentation ends for those watching the replay later on. We'll now take some time to address your questions in detail. So I'll answer the questions right after this. And for those watching the replay, I'll see you at the next WordPress Cafe.